Change or die is like my warning to every single person out there in today's environment, right? The market, the compression and the speed at which things are changing is so rapid that if you don't change, like if you're unwilling to adjust your strategy, if you're unwilling to adjust your plan, your death, not only is it gonna happen, but it's gonna be excruciatingly painful. And what's interesting to me is, we've been talking a lot about this need to do it with someone by yourself. And I had some feedback, and people said to me, well, what if I transfer that skill set and they go up the street? Like, what if you don't transfer that skill set and they stay? Like, that's even worse, right? I mean, your business is gonna suffocate itself. I had some people like communicate to me, well, I don't want to give away all the tricks of the trade. Well, going back to this idea of bringing value, when you stop bringing value to the people that are on your team, the likelihood that they're gonna stay engaged and be committed to your vision is pretty low. And for those of you that are like, you think that you have a monopoly on skills, or like you're the only person who can do it the way that you can do it, the fact of the matter is, if you want to scale your business, you want to be something more than just an operator, right? More than just a producer, you have to transfer the most, those skill sets. And I think a lot of people, the challenge that they experience is they have an intolerance for people that perform at a level other than their own. And they don't necessarily feel like they have the time to transfer that skill set. The fact of the matter is you don't have to like take the time to train somebody. You just got to put them by your side, which is what the last episode was. But this change or die is more than just about adding manpower, adding headcount, and transferring skill set. It's also a reflection inwardly at what you're doing today and what you need to do in order to evolve. 10 years ago, there was no iPhone, right? The iPhone celebrated its 10th anniversary. Imagine a world where you didn't get your email on your cell phone. Imagine a world where you're not watching this video on your cell phone, right? On your device. Because that world 10 years ago didn't exist. And if you're still operating the way you were 10 years ago, the fact is that you're probably gone. You're out of business, right? Or your death is coming pretty soon. And the compression, the speed at which change is occurring is increasing every single day. And all the time I run into salespeople, and they're still using feel, felt, found, right? They're still using Tom Hopkins stuff that was created in the 80s, or they're still using stuff that they learned 15 years ago when they started their careers at Xerox, or where they started somewhere else. And the fact is that you need to evolve and push your business into a new area. So the problem is, if you don't evolve, right? If you don't change, like the suffering isn't going to be swift. It's going to be excruciating and slow. And I learned a lesson when I was young from a friend of mine. We were at a blackjack table, and he said, "Never die a slow death," right? Like, the worst thing that you can do is slowly deteriorate. And I think that salespeople right now, they're dying a slow death, right? And they've convinced themselves, they think, oh, well, I'm not really into that social media thing, or I'm not into this whole, Facebook. I don't have a Facebook page, or I'm not doing X, Y. Whatever narrative that they've created for themselves to justify their inaction and their lack of willingness to evolve and move into new areas, they justify it. And I'll tell you, if you find yourself justifying, right, not taking action, you're on your way to disaster. Like, you're on your way to that slow death. And we can't afford it, right? I mean, the compression of change is so rapid, and things are changing so quickly that if you're not evolving with it, man, you can expect your business to evaporate. And that's true for the entrepreneur, it's true for the salesperson, it's true for the artist, right? You gotta be pushing the envelope all the time. And man, change or die.